Welcome to Psychic Sunday. This is your host, Reverend Erin-Ashley, the founder of Spiritual Mechanic at spiritualmechanic.com. Today's episode is all about how resentment clouds your intuition. So, if you're working to develop your psychic abilities and your intuition, then it's really important to know how this plays a role. What you're going to learn in this video, why your vibration is important, how focusing on those who have hurt you mutes your intuition, the F word that sets you free from resentment without giving away your power, how to remain clear once you are free from resentment. All right, why your vibe is important. Your vibration is basically what allows you to tune in to all that is. So your vibration is the set point, and it dictates the type and quality of information that filters through your conscious awareness. Think about it. Have you ever been in a bad mood and then someone wanted to talk to you about something and you completely misheard everything they said and you heard things in a very negatively slanted way, and then whenever you talk to them later, you realize that they meant something completely different, and then you had to re-listen and possibly apologize simply because you didn't hear it correctly the first time. That's what happens whenever you're clouded by resentment. If you're in a low vibe, even when the universe is saying something good or positive, you'll hear it in a negative and distorted way. If you are in a high vibration, you'll hear the universe much more clearly, and even when it gives you something that you don't want to hear, a quote-unquote negative message, you'll feel more comfortable and confident in listening and taking aligned action. So for instance, if you're really wanting to start a business, and for whatever reason now just isn't an ideal time, and you're feeling like you're ready to go, and then you tune into your intuition, you realize, nope, there's something else I have to address first. This doesn't actually quite feel aligned. If you are out of resentment and into your feeling of freedom and high vibes, then you will be able to make that shift with ease. If you're in a low vibration state due to resentment or anything else, then you will hear that negative and you may take it personally. That whole message of it's not quite time yet will start to feel as though it's personal, as though you are not good enough to follow your dreams, when that's not the message at all. So I hope that explains how this particular portion works, why the vibe is important. So let's talk about how focusing on the hurt mutes your intuition. There are three main ways. First of all, as we mentioned before, focusing on negative aspects lowers your vibration. So if you start focusing on all the things that have gone wrong in your life, all the people who have hurt you, all the things that didn't pan out the way you thought that they should have, then that is going to create a lot of resentment and low vibration feelings. And that distorts the messages that you receive. Number one. Number two, focusing on those who have hurt you creates an outward focus for your attention, and the intuition filters through your body-mind system. And if you are not focused on those sensations, feelings, sounds, however your intuition filters through for you, because you're so busy focusing on the outward of whatever is on the outside that you don't like, then you also cannot find your intuitive voice. It distracts you from your intuitive voice. And then consistent focus on those who have hurt you creates an internal block. If you do this for a long period of time, I'm not talking about someone pisses you off one day and then, you're upset for a little bit and then you're fine after that because you fully processed it and you fully released it. I'm talking about residual resentments that are not fully clear. Consistent focus on those will create an internal block. You will create a pattern of not focusing on the messages that the universe is sending to you, and it makes it harder and harder to tune in with time. So that's why you don't want to focus on the hurts. Let's talk about the F word. All right, the F word that sets you free, you may have guessed, is forgiveness. I talk about this a lot. Forgiveness is the be-all, end-all when it comes to releasing old resentments and hurts. Whenever you forgive, you are releasing the thoughts and things that no longer serve you, whether it's a resentment, a relationship that no longer is healthy for you, or anything else that just doesn't resonate with you anymore. By the way, if a relationship is no longer healthy for you, it is also no longer healthy for whoever you are in a relationship with. Because if you're in a relationship with someone and it's not good for them, it is automatically not good for you. It goes both ways. Healthy relationships are the same thing. Whatever is healthy for you is healthy for those around you. When you align with your highest good, health, wealth, and happiness, you forgive more easily. And as you forgive, you align with your highest good, health, wealth, and happiness. You can actually go either way here. It's actually pretty cool. But either way you approach it, forgiveness is awesome. Quick beginner mistake alert. A lot of people who are hesitant to dive into forgiveness do so because they believe incorrectly that forgiveness means forgetting, never holding anyone accountable for their words or actions or what someone else, or they think that whatever someone else did is okay if they forgive them. It's as if they think that it's going to condone someone. So if someone does something that is harmful to you, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to let them walk without a conversation. You can absolutely be in a completely clear state, feel resent-free, and feel clear and happy and centered, and have a conversation about their words, actions, or inactions, or anything else that is on your mind and heart. That is perfectly possible. Forgiveness only means that you value your emotional, spiritual, and energetic freedom over your resentment. You can be emotionally free and perfectly at peace and hold someone accountable for their actions and or inactions. One of my clients, she went through quite a process. Her ex was abusive. They were even in legal action with their daughter because he was just creating so much drama and chaos in their life that she really wanted to have sole custody. But she still worked on forgiveness. And as she forgave, his trying to control her and her daughter decreased with time, and the reaction she had to it decreased with time. And she still went to court. She still followed up in order to keep herself and her daughter safe. And she did so with much more freedom in her emotional experience and a lot more freedom in her life. And so forgiveness doesn't mean that you won't hold people accountable. It just means you want to be free and you're choosing freedom over whatever emotional reaction you're having to the individual or situation. All right, I'm going to show you my favorite and the quickest forgiveness process. Ho'oponopono is an ancient Hawaiian forgiveness practice. It is my favorite tool. And so how you do it is very simple. And in your mind's eye, you're going to imagine the face of someone who you feel less than love for. So if this is strong resentment, if this is frustration, no matter what it is, you're simply going to imagine their face in your mind's eye as best as possible. And you're going to say in your mind's eye, or out loud if you want, "Thank you, I love you, please forgive me, I'm sorry." And you want to continue to say this until you feel free. Now, a lot of people feel uncomfortable saying, "Please forgive me, I'm sorry." If you can't bring yourself to do that, simply say, "I love you." "Thank you, I love you." Those are strong enough. I do encourage you to say all 4 phrases because they really do make a huge impact. It's really important. You'll see some really fascinating shifts if you commit to all 4 phrases, even if it doesn't make sense, even if you don't feel like you mean it at the time. Just practice it, try it, see what happens. All right, the people might shift as you do this. This is very common. You'll shift, you'll be released, you'll feel free from resentment and frustration and all of those low vibe stuff. And all of a sudden they completely change about how they go about being around you. They'll react to you different. They will change. If they're not healthy for you anymore, they'll just seem to disappear out of your life, even though you may or may not have taken action to help them leave. They'll just kind of fall away naturally. So continue this process until you feel free. So as you do this, by the way, in your actual practice, you will want to allow the faces to shift as they do. For instance, if the first person who comes to mind, I'm using an example here, is your mother. Let's say there's something she did that annoyed you or frustrated you or hurt you. Then you imagine her in your mind's eye and you use the Ho'oponopono phrases until the face changes. You might see your face, you might see a friend's face, you might see your father's face, you might see someone else's face as you do it. It'll shift and change. Now, just continue the process until you feel peaceful or you simply feel complete with it for now. Sometimes we just hit a point and that's enough for one day, and that's okay. You don't have to push yourself through it. Just allow it to be easy. All right, so that's how you forgive. Once you have forgiven and you find that peace within yourself, here's how to stay free. Basically, forgiveness is like bathing. You'll want to do it on a regular basis. We are human beings. We come into this world and then we interact with other people. And then there are circumstances in our life that we have control or no control, depending on them. And then resentments will build up if you don't take some type of action to release them. So you want to create a daily or weekly forgiveness practice and stick to it. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be stressful. The more you clear your energy of resentment and frustrations, the easier everything, including your intuition and including the projects that your heart is resonant with, it will all flow. I personally recommend about 5 minutes a day on a forgiveness practice. You can use Ho'oponopono or any other forgiveness technique that you enjoy, and just maintain that practice. Just keep it up. You'll be amazed at the results. Another one, if you're not feeling Ho'oponopono or it's just not your favorite, you can use EFT. Just Google EFT and possibly Brad Yates, and you'll get a lot of tutorials about how to use it. It's called tapping on how to use it, and it assists you in releasing what no longer serves you. So now to you. Today, I'm going to challenge you to try Ho'oponopono for 2 minutes, just 2 minutes, and then comment below. I can't wait to hear from you and how it goes. And thank you so much for watching. Please do make sure that you are subscribed if you liked this video and you wish to get more. If you know someone who struggles with resentment and is working to develop their intuition, send them this video. It can be hugely helpful. This is a very simple process and it works. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.